This is an ABP Live Podcast.
Hi guys, you're listening to Ladies First on ABP Live Podcasts. On this podcast, we talk to some of the girl bosses of the 21st century, and today we have a really amazing girl boss with us. Someone who is a certified beautiful person inside and out in the entire world. Yes, exactly, in the entire world. So today we have Mrs. World Sargam Koushal with us.
Hi, hello
Hi, Sargam,
everyone.
how are you?
Hi, Niharika. I'm good. How are you?
I am doing very well. Super excited for this conversation, by the way. And so tell me, like, how are you? I am sure that a lot of people, I am sure that no one at this point has actually asked you
Yes,
this.
that's absolutely true. Nobody asks me how I am. They only ask me this question. कैसा लग रहा है? So yes, I am. Thank you very much for asking, but I'm really good. I'm very glad being here actually. It's my first ever trip to this place,
Okay.
and especially to this beautiful office of yours. मुझे भी एंट्री दे दो यार यहाँ पे every day की.
आप आ जाओ, आपको आपकी सारी एंट्री का काम मेरा, आप टेंशन मत लो.
Thank you so much.
तो सरगम ये बताओ कि अब मीडिया में हूँ तो पूछना तो मुझे पड़ेगा ही.
कैसा लग रहा है?
कैसा लग रहा है? एंड अच्छा चलो ज़्यादा लंबा चौड़ा नहीं करते हम, इसको करते एकदम सिंपल शॉर्ट. कैन यू एक्सप्लेन योर एंटायर जर्नी एंड द एंटायर प्रोसेस एंड द मोमेंट व्हेन यू वन इन वन वर्ड?
One word. You know
Yeah.
what? This question was asked to me in Mrs. World.
Wow.
It was like my top 16 ka question that explain in one word who you are.
Oh
Like
my God.
if you have to,
Right.
अगर judges को आपको ये बताना चाहते हो, this is Sargam Koushal. What word describes you a lot? And I said strength. So
Wow.
that kind of got me into the top 3. So the answer to your question would be mesmerizing. I would say, yeah, enriching also actually, because I
Right.
learned a lot throughout this journey. So yeah,
I'm sure.
2 words.
Okay, so like this entire journey from the beginning, from Mrs. India to then Mrs. World, how has it been?
Well, I was just telling someone today itself कि आप जब उस जर्नी में होते हो आपको रियलाइज नहीं होता है कि क्या चल रहा है. You just
Exactly.
go with the flow.
Right.
But now when I'm sitting here and जब मैं एक साल पीछे देखती हूँ तो मुझे रियलाइज होता है there is so much that I've learned, so many people I've met, maybe a few lives that I've touched.
Right.
And that's something that makes me feel the most happy because when people come up to me personally and even on social media saying, "Ma'am, आपको देख के बहुत inspiration मिलती है." I think that's my takeaway.
Right.
And that's what makes me feel blessed. So this journey has made me transition from a person who always used to I won't say I used to think about myself, but I was, every victory would be my own victory.
Right.
But now this victory is of everybody in this country.
Absolutely.
And probably few women in this world. So that's something that makes me feel very grateful.
It is, and I think you have touched more than a few lives, honestly, because 21 years. After 21 whole years, India has won the Mrs. World pageant.
Right.
And that's a huge thing. There are a lot of, I'm sure that there are so many girls who aspire to become models. There's so many girls who want to, become part of this entire pageantry journey. And to see someone, one of them, one Indian, actually going and reaching that milestone is a huge inspiration because
It is.
you see one of your people out there, so
Exactly.
it gives them the encouragement that, okay, I can also do it. So I'm sure that you've touched more than one lives for sure.
Thank you.
So tell me this entire process, and I am someone who has any knowledge on pageantry, but what I do understand is that there are a lot of rounds, a lot of stages that you have to go through, and it's a tedious process, I'm sure. Can you tell us a little about all these stages and rounds that are a part of the process?
Oh yes. So of course, first is bringing yourself to that point where you say yes to registering into it.
Right.
For me, that was the biggest hurdle because it took me like 3 years to actually bring myself to signing that form.
Why so?
Because I was not a pageant person. Honestly, I would be very candid saying that I didn't believe in pageants back then. I thought, क्या ही हो रहा है यहाँ पे? But now when I'm in it, so now of course I realize what difference it creates.
What all goes into the whole
Exactly.
thing.
So starting with your registration, then it comes to the first set of auditions that happen, like the zonal auditions. Then from there you are brought down to probably like 25 to 50 to 25 contestants.
Right.
From there, tasks मिलते हैं, रोज कुछ ना कुछ आपकी training होती है, grooming होगी, ramp walk training होगी,
So
social
training
media.
goes on along with the entire
The
competition.
process, yes.
Okay.
So it is like a screening thing going on, जैसे proper military academy में हो रहा होता है, बस
अरे
it's
बाप
just
रे.
with
Oh God.
the girls with beauties with brains.
Exactly, beauty with brains.
After that, so during all of the screening process and all of the trainings which keep going on, उसके बाद हम finally finale week पे आते हैं, जहाँ finale week में after 25 कट के 15 रह जाती हैं, 10 रह जाती हैं.
My God.
At every other stage you have people are judging you on your ramp walk, people are judging you on probably the way you are presenting yourself in front of the judges while talking.
Right.
People are also judging you during that 6 days of boot camp. जब आप बाकी contestants के साथ रह रहे हो, आप किस तरह से उनके साथ behave करते हो, how sisterly you are,
Right,
or
exactly.
how not so
Not so
sisterly,
sisterly are you.
you are. And I think Mrs. India INC and Mrs. World दोनों में जो ये 6-7 days का जो एक पूरा जिसको मैं boot camp बोल रही हूँ था, इसमें judges kind of मुझे लगता है वो 6 दिन में ही पता लगा लेते हैं कि उनको कौन चाहिए.
Right.
And
because
then
they have an eye for that
exactly,
thing.
that's
they
what
know
they've
how
been
to
doing,
judge
right?
them. Exactly.
And then after that final day pe you have your personal interview like we are having right now.
Right.
And some people make it there, that impression wo judges ke upar, and some don't. And then that is carried forward to the finale stage where
Right.
you have other rounds going on.
Exactly,
So I think judges kind of pick their favorites during the PI
उसी
only.
time पे, exactly.
Or
and
finale.
PI is a very personal
It
thing.
is.
You actually get, like right now when I'm talking to you, it's a different process than
Exactly.
when I might see you on television or
stage.
maybe in front of me on the stage. It would be so different.
Yes,
So it is very obvious that उस time पे भी काफी हद तक judgment बन जाती होगी.
Exactly. And then ऐसी ही जैसे आप कह रहे हो कि स्टेज पे और स्टेज के पीछे जैसा आपका कॉन्वर्जेशन रहता है वो बिल्कुल डिफरेंट होता है. हमको
Right.
उसकी भी ट्रेनिंग दी जाती है that how exactly do you talk to a person standing right next to you and how do you talk to a larger audience.
Right.
So all of that is very important when pageantry happens. You can not just pack your bags and say आज मैं pageant जीत के आऊँगी.
Right,
It doesn't
exactly.
happen. But for me, it happened really fast because people kind of पहले बहुत सारे pageants करते हैं, उसके बाद एक बड़ा pageant जीतते हैं.
Right.
मेरे लिए it was like the first try, so I got that
Wow.
beginner's luck. I say that all
No.
the time.
See, hard work बहुत matter करता है. We can say कि there is definitely luck plays a part, but there must have been something inside of you and the work that you put into this that brought you here. Hands down, it's all you. It's all you.
Thank you. Now I believe it.
Yes, absolutely. You should. You should.
Thank you. Thank you.
So it's a very long process.
It is a long, tedious process. It takes months to reach that stage.
Right.
And it takes a toll on you. It takes a toll on your physical health, your mental health at some point. It takes a toll on your family, especially when you're married, You cannot just
Right.
leave everything and...
Things are very different between Miss World and Mrs.
Exactly.
World.
So it
and especially I think that's also particularly a case more so in India, I would say, to some extent.
Well, you know what? I have met women from all across the world.
Right.
हम औरतों की सबकी हालत एक जैसी है trust me. हर शादीशुदा औरत की हालत एक जैसी है. घर बाहर हम कितनी भी बॉस women बन जाएं और empowerment की बातें कर ले. I'm just saying that on a lighter note.
Right.
घर पे आके we need to make sure that everything is in place.
Right.
Like
Everything
ये
is on
phone
point.
एकदम ऐसे होना चाहिए.
Exactly. Right.
तो बच्चे एकदम सेट होने चाहिए, पति एकदम सेट होना चाहिए, खाना बना होना चाहिए. And it's not that we have to do it. Somebody has put that responsibility on us.
Right.
No.
It's an innate need to do that.
Exactly. That need to do that ना वही बदलना है.
वही exactly. मतलब we even हम लोग ये बात करते हैं कि men should understand that they should also sort of share responsibility within the
Yeah.
home, but even women need to let go
Let
maybe.
go, exactly.
Right.
So my husband would do something and I'll be like, तुमसे नहीं हो रहा है, मैं कर लेती हूँ. And then I blame myself that यार, I
Rather
should
than
have done
actually
it.
guiding him कि ठीक है ऐसे कर दो, we're like हम ही कर लेते हैं.
Yeah, I should have. Yeah, and that needs to. That's
Change.
where we need to let go.
Exactly, exactly. Talking about this, in Ladies First, we talk to a lot of women who are different in nature, who are different in fields, who are working in different backgrounds. So, but a common question that I ask all of them is that honestly, for men, it is work-life balance. For women, it is work-life family balance.
Oh, yes.
So, how do you manage that? I'm sure that in the last 1 year, things have gone haywire for you on a personal front as well. So, how did you manage that?
I look back to this 1 year. I see my house a mess most of the time. Laundry is just we all
there.
have that chair na.
Yeah.
जिसके
Oh
ऊपर पूरा
God!
laundry
Today
जाता है.
morning I had another interview and I talked about that chair which has all the laundry piled up till the top.
Yeah. So वो पड़ी रहती है वहाँ पर बहुत दिनों तक.
Right.
Then my husband would walk in and say, कर लें इसको बाहर सुखाने के लिए डालने में खाओ के लिए. And we have a person who helps us cook and everything. So thanks to that, my house has been managed properly.
Right.
But there are days when they are not there and we have to do it all by ourselves, and we have our training going on and we have photo shoots going on from morning till midnight. And I remember I was working.
घर जाने का.
Exactly. I was working on my birthday. My husband was waiting for me and I was shooting for a designer. And so yeah, it has been difficult, I won't lie. Thankfully, I've had a very supportive family. Parents and husband काफी supportive रहे हैं, तो मुझे इतनी दिक्कत नहीं हुई.
Right.
But yes, I've had good days, I've had bad days too.
So on those bad days, what is that one thing that sort of like you are home, you're tired, you've had a tough day. What is that one thing that really soothes you and sort of brings you back into your own?
Sleep. Sleep.
Hands
do
down,
whatever
I
you want to
agree,
do.
I agree.
कैसे भी, pop a pill for all I care, but just sleep.
Sleep. Right.
Sleep for some time. Give your brain some rest. Maybe if not sleep, then just dance. I like to dance a lot. तो मैं बस music बहुत जोर से लगा के I dance for a while. जब तक थक नहीं जाती पूरी तरह से, and then again I sleep.
Right.
So ये चीज़ कर लेती हूँ मैं. It kind of brings back, and then we also need to learn to disconnect. हम वो नहीं कर पाते.
Very important.
Especially with this social media, because all my work is on social media.
Right. Exactly.
So sometimes I feel that I really need to just
keep
pull
your
the
phone
plug and
away.
keep it away from me.
Because half of the time, this social media thing, what it has done is, कुछ भी कर रहे हो, चलो story डाल देते हैं, कोई post डाल देते हैं, कुछ कर देते हैं. Disconnect has really lost its meaning at this point, because everything is connected, everyone is online, everyone is there, way too connected. I agree, absolutely. So disconnecting is, I feel it's very, very important in today's time.
Yeah.
So you said that you love dancing.
Yeah.
So it's okay, I'll give you a situation. You're at home, you're alone, you have the time of your life to spend all the me time and all the quality time just with yourself, or chalo with your husband, whichever way you want. What is that one thing or maybe a couple of things that you really like doing in your free time?
Well, I have a list of things that I do. So I have a dog.
Okay.
Her name is Heidi. She is a wonderful bacha. So I like spending time with her, doing her nails and maybe just pampering her or thoda sa usko nehla do aur ye sab. So that's kind of my me time. Then I like doing karaokes with my husband. So we have this karaoke
really
machine.
nice.
We don't, my husband sings really well, but I don't. Even though my name is Sargam. Ironic.
Ironically.
But yeah, we do our karaoke nights sometimes. And then, we live in Mumbai, we live in Colaba, there's so much to see.
Right.
We just visited this art festival that was going on.
Oh, that's
so
really
we do
nice.
these little things to just reconnect with each other.
Each other, exactly. That's very important.
Yeah, then again sleep.
Sleep. I think everything boils down to sleeping.
Yeah, brain needs to rest.
Right. Talking about karaoke, what is your favorite song or any particular artist that you really like?
I'm really liking this song which is going on internet these days, Georgia. Yeah. I don't remember the singer, but it's new version came where there's a girl also singing. Heaven, yes.
I love that.
I love that song. And I've been listening to it on loop.
Same here.
So that's one
High-five.
beautiful song. Yeah.
It's a really, really nice song. It's sort of calming. It has a calming effect.
Yeah. And the fact that the guy really loves Georgia.
There was also this video, I think, that went viral in which the singer talks about the fact that he actually wrote it for one of his lovers. I'm not sure if her name was Georgia or not, but he actually tells the story of how he let her go. And
Exactly.
that
I think
is,
I heard about this.
yeah, it was a reel that was going back and forth on Instagram, and then he wrote it for her, and then not
That's so
wanting to let her go again if she ever
Oh, wow,
comes
that's
back.
so beautiful.
Exactly.
You got me goosebumps.
Okay, so enough
Coming
about
back.
social media. Coming back, it's okay.
Yeah.
So coming back to pageantry, any particular moment, really memorable moment, or any particular round that you really enjoyed that you would like to share with us?
Okay, so Mrs. India INC के time पे the round that I enjoyed the most was uh, well it wasn't a round on the finale day. It was mostly during our training days.
Okay.
So we were told to do a photo shoot.
Okay.
On our phones.
Okay.
Whatever phones we may have,
Right.
like proper photo shoot करना है. We were given some themes, and उसके according we had to do it. And I पूरा घर upside down कर दिया था मैंने. Sofa एक because I needed a proper
Place जहाँ
to
पर कुछ
shoot.
आसपास ना हो and you are just
Exactly.
standing and
And
shooting.
I remember I did not have a ring light back then. So मैंने घर की जितनी lights थी सब अपने ऊपर focus कर ली. All the table lamps, all the other
Right.
lamps, सब मेरे ऊपर focused थे. Yellow light यहाँ से पड़ रही, white light यहाँ से पड़ रही, because I had kind of social media पे search किया था कि how to do that. And makeup करा हुआ है. I'm changing like 4 to 5 outfits in those 4 to 5 hours. And there my maid is coming, तो वो bell बजा रही है. Then my दूध वाला is coming, वो bell बजा रहा है. And I'm like, guys, I need
Stop,
to
I
focus.
need some time.
I need to focus.
Give me a break.
Exactly. But those pictures came out really well from my phone. मैंने पूरा setup सीखा उसके लिए, you know. I actually did a YouTube lesson on whatever that was. So the pictures came out really well. So I enjoyed that particular session very much, even though it was really hectic and tiring. But my trainers appreciated me for
Right.
that. Then during Mrs. World, I really liked my the swimsuit round.
Okay.
I don't know, a lot of people might have a lot of things to say about it, but I am a person who was very, I was very too much aware of my body. Like, I was always insecure about it. And to be on a stage in front of people in a swimsuit sometimes can get really tough.
Not sometimes. I would say for most of the people,
Yeah.
it would be a very huge deal.
And it was for me, and probably that was one of the reasons I never participated in Miss India also. And my dad used to tell me कि कर ले participate, मुझे कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, you know, you wearing swimsuit. मैंने कहा पापा TV पे आएगा, and he used to say, it's okay, मैं अपनी आंखें बंद कर लूँगा.
So sweet.
But he really wanted me to do pageants.
Right.
He found them quite empowering. And that's what I tell people also, that ये swimsuit round आपको लगता है कि you know it's skin show and all of that, but it really takes courage to go on that stage wearing a swimsuit. Especially for me, you know, people think कि हाँ तुम्हारी body सब सही है तो तुम्हें क्या ही
Right.
दिक्कत होगी. But trust me, मेरे लिए बहुत मुश्किल था अपनी वो सब insecurities को पीछे
Side
छोड़
पे
के
रख के to do that in front of the entire world.
Yes, and when I saw other women, so Mrs. World की best चीज़ ये है, even in fact Mrs. India INC की best चीज़ मुझे ये लगती है कि all body types are welcome. And मैंने वो world stage के ऊपर हर body type देखा है वो swimsuit पहन के. Green room में they used to be like, Sargam, how am I going to go on stage wearing this? And stage पे एकदम top
Boss
performance,
face
you know,
on.
boss, exactly, वो एकदम
Right.
boss face और पता ही नहीं चल रहा है कि कहीं पे ये green room में insecure feel कर रही थी.
Right,
So that really, that's one of my favorite parts
It's
of the competition.
What I think a lot of people, and honestly, until now, like until even you said it, तब तक मुझे भी realization नहीं थी इस बात की कि wearing a swimsuit in front of everyone can actually be very empowering.
Exactly. People actually used to have debate about this कि ये empowering नहीं है, it is
Just a
demeaning,
show
it
of
is
body and
objectifying
stuff
a
like that.
woman
Exactly.
because everybody else is wearing clothes and you are in a swimsuit. But I think it empowers you. जब आप अपने वो inhibitions पीछे छोड़ देते हो ना कि ये कौन है?
Right.
You know, I'm the queen.
Exactly.
जब वो feeling, वो
exactly.
queen
That is
feeling
the
आती है ना,
vibe
exactly.
that you need to
और वो
have
queen
inside
feeling
you.
आती है. Trust me, wearing that swimsuit was probably not easy for me until I stepped on that stage, and when I did, I was like, who are you?
Right, exactly. वो queen, like I am the queen वाली feeling,
Yes.
he is, I think, something that we all need inside of us as women.
Exactly. And I really appreciate people on social media loving how they, I mean, every body type is wearing whatever they want and not caring about anybody. I feel that's
one of the best things. Of
best
course,
things.
everything has its pros and cons. As we said, कि ठीक है थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो जाता है and you will get addicted to it. But it has also given a platform to so many people. I mean, these days, I am a plus size person, so I know, and I have seen so many plus size creators do such amazing jobs with the kind of clothes that they wear, how they motivate people like me to actually come out and be who they want to be.
Exactly.
And especially a lot of people seeing that, now it's really empowering.
Absolutely.
That someone like me is out there in front of a camera wearing what the hell ever she wants to, and that's the vibe I think that we need to promote more and more.
Absolutely.
So Sargam, tell me this entire thing where you finally reached where you want to, was it always your dream or your dream was something else and जिंदगी ने किया कोई हंसी सितम?
Actually हंसी सितम हुआ है मेरे साथ. I always wanted to do something out of ordinary. I used to go to school.
Right.
तो तभी जिस भी I mean मैं एक ऑटो में जाती थी जिसमें बहुत सारे बच्चे जाते थे मेरे साथ. And I used to sit on my window seat and just look outside. Every person I used to see in the morning was the same person I used to see the next morning.
Right.
Going
There
to office,
was no need.
right? Going to the
Nothing
office, and their faces used to look like हम क्या कर रहे हैं अपनी लाइफ के साथ,
So dead.
right? मुझे वो dead नहीं चाहिए था अपने face पे कभी भी.
You wanted to be happy doing whatever you do.
Exactly, and so I started teaching, loved it, liked it, but not loved it. Then I started teaching at a different place with better work ethics. Loved it, loved the students, loved the whole curriculum, everything. I thought I would end up doing this only.
Right, that's a
teaching.
calling.
Yeah, I thought that would be. But within like a year and a half, I realized, यार बोर हो रहा है बहुत.
Up now I am becoming that person with a sad face in the morning.
Exactly, and I won't say बोर हो रहा था, but the thing is कि I was kind of overdoing everything. I was overworking. I was just burning myself, and I realized I need a break.
Right.
So वो जो 2 साल का break मैंने लिया काम से, उसमें I realized that there are many other things to do in life. I came to Mumbai, which was a game changer for me. Mumbai आके पता चला that yeah, there are a lot of other things that people do except 9 to 5. Yeah?
Right,
And I don't mean to shame people who do 9 to 5, but it's just not meant for some others.
Yeah, and it's a very individual thing. यार हर कोई नहीं. Again, we are not the same people.
Yeah.
Not everyone fits in the same mold.
Exactly.
Same for the body types and same for the kind of lifestyle we want for ourselves.
For ourselves, true. So I thought कि चलो let's give it a try. Start modeling से हुआ. Dad always wanted me to enter pageantry. मैं तो बोलती रहती हूँ बचपन से मेरे पीछे पड़े हुए थे वो. The day Sushmita Sen won the crown, I was 4 years old.
My
4 years old when
God.
she won, and my dad is like, watch this. You have to watch this. He made me watch the whole winning moment. And I think वो ingrain हो गया कहीं brain में ना.
Right. बहुत early age पे it sort of
yeah.
struck a chord with you somewhere.
Exactly.
It sort of phased out maybe, but then it was
Exactly,
there.
it was there in my subconscious
Right.
somewhere. And बस मुंबई आके I think वो spark ignite होना बाकी था, वो हुआ, and I just stepped into this.
Right, exactly. I think वो चीज़ भी ना बहुत बारी you don't understand क्योंकि हमें लगता है कि ठीक है everyone is not very happy in their jobs. सबको लगता है कि ठीक है कभी ना कभी कुछ ना कुछ हो ही जाएगा, but you really need to understand that. And as you said, the 2-year break that you took, again a very unconventional thing to do, because people these days किसी को बोल दो कि भाई एक college year skip करना है तो उनकी जान निकल जाती है, let alone taking a break from your career. So kudos to you for doing that.
Actually not. I was very insecure in those 2 years. I remember waking up every day thinking आज क्या करूँ? Because every day was going on the same
right.
पति का वेट करो, घर पे थोड़ा सा काम कर लो, फिर सोशल मीडिया चला लो, एंड समझ नहीं आ रहा है करना क्या है. कॉलिंग कुछ तो है.
You feel like you are wasting, मतलब कई बारी doubts भी आते होंगे कि मैंने गलती तो नहीं कर दी.
बिल्कुल आते थे because I left a good job, like a well-paying job, and I was pretty much satisfied in it just because I was feeling overburnt, just because I felt that मेरा बहुत ज़्यादा mental stress हो रहा है. तो मुझे लगा कि people will think कि कुछ ज़्यादा ही entitled behave कर रही है. Especially I think people have this notion about defense people की wives को लेके कि पूरा trophy wife वाला feel आता है उनको कि इसको क्या ही करना है,
करने की जरूरत ही क्या है, तो
हाँ,
इसलिए
पति कमा रहा है और घर पे नौकर चाकर है.
Even in the 21st century we have such notions coming around.
Exactly, I've had multiple people on my Instagram saying the same things to me, and okay, ठीक है, but yeah, that's what I said कि वो doubtful वाला session था 2 साल का, but then एक time आता है when you leave all that self doubt behind and you think
Right. नहीं,
this is the way to go.
exactly. तो वो इंस्पिरेशन कैसे हिट करी कि okay, this is what I need to do, this is what I get on to?
Oh, okay, so such unconventional things happen in my life. My husband had gone to Jammu to meet my parents.
Okay.
I was in Mumbai only. So वो मेरे घर गया और my parents had called him for dinner and they are all sitting at the dinner table and my father asks my husband, so क्या करना है आगे? You know, it's been 5 years, you're married and everything. So what plans?
Right.
So he said, plans matlab? So he said, she's not working right now, so why don't you like plan a baby?
Okay.
And my husband says, okay, but I think she wants to do something else, maybe modeling and all. तो बोलो उसको करने के लिए, या तो बच्चा पैदा करो या फिर
काम करो
या फिर कुछ काम करो.
Right.
And my husband calls me after this was done. He calls me up and he said, "This your dad was saying this. What do you want to do?" I said, "Is there a choice? I don't want babies.
I have to do something.
I'll become Mrs. India." So
My God.
My dad had literally told him, या तो उसको बोलो Mrs. India में register कर ले,
या बच्चे पैदा कर
या बच्चे पैदा कर ले. मैंने कहा बच्चे तो नहीं होंगे, तो Mrs. India sounds like a better option. My God, I'm crying. Yeah. And I called my dad up. ये कोई तरीका है बात करने का? What are you saying? इस तरह की बातें करोगे? अब आप मुझे बचपन से ये बोलते रहते थे कि अपने पैरों पे खड़ा होना है और कुछ करना है, तो कुछ करना.
That thing, तो बोल दिया तो कुछ कर तो सही. So typical parents,
typical,
every parent is like that. My God.
Oh my God. So yeah, so that happened.
That is what sort of pushed you ki now I have to do this thing.
I have to do this thing. And then I had a friend over for some days in Mumbai, and we were just sitting, chatting, and she said, "Why don't you do it? It's a good thing, and even if you don't make it, you land somewhere.
Right.
You land somewhere. You probably make a lot of connections. थोड़ा modeling ही कर लोगी, कुछ हो जाएगा." तो I said, "Okay, ठीक है, maybe top 5 में आ जाऊँगी तो." modeling में थोड़ा आसानी हो जाएगा. But I didn't know I would win, and then.
Little do we know.
I keep telling this to people that वो जो steps होते हैं ना, when you are a struggling model, right? You don't have work. You're just doing your photo shoots and you're just sending across your CV to talent agencies. तो बहुत साल लग जाते हैं, 6-7 साल लग जाते हैं उस level तक आने में. And honestly, let's be very honest. I'm 32 years old now, and this industry needs fresh faces. Yeah. Right?
Ageism is a very big problem
in the modeling industry, in the glamour world, right? And especially for women. And so I realized कि वो 6 साल कहाँ से लाऊंगी मैं? I have a family too, right? At the end of the day, I am answerable.
It's not like you are just out of college and you have all the time in the world because you don't have anything else to do. But here you have a family also to look after.
Exactly. And then cut to Mrs. India happens, and then Mrs. World happens, and now I have a blue tick on Instagram, and people are like, endorsements, and so okay, this is something new that has happened. But वो एक 6 साल की journey जो होती है ना, वो एक साल में हो गई. Complete भी नहीं बोलूँगी. I'm still like
in the process,
but it makes things easier.
Definitely it does. So now the post pageant life, how is it? Like, is it very glamorous? Is it all like this, actors, like while you walk in the road and there are people running behind you? How does that feel, and how is it? And job wise also, like back to back, are you getting endorsements and stuff? Like, how is it going on?
Yeah, you can see, like, since morning I'm wearing makeup and I'm in proper decked up condition.
Right.
So this is how life goes. I was coming back from Vegas to India. So I was in London doing my layover time kaat rahi thi, and a woman comes up to me and says, "You're Sargam Koushal, right?" I was just wearing a beanie जिसके ऊपर Mrs. World लिखा हुआ था.
हाँ.
तो वो बोली, "You're Sargam Koushal, right?" And I said, "Yes." I saw you on TV.
Oh,
And
that's
in London, like a person recognizing you in London.
She was an Indian?
She was an Indian, yes.
Okay.
And then even in Vegas, I found people, they would come to me, click pictures, and it was really heartwarming to see Indians kind of reaching out. And then there were some people who were not even Indians, other nationalities. वो भी आके pictures click करवा रहे हैं और वो सब अच्छा लगता है.
They must have seen, and obviously, like, you're not just an Indian hero anymore, I would say, or an Indian shiro anymore, I would say, because you're Mrs. World. You are the embodiment of womanhood for the entire world. So it's more than just being an Indian anymore, I would say.
Yeah, and that comes with a great responsibility as well.
It does. It does.
With all the glam and everything that you see on the face, there are places where I have to show up, and it's not just about clicking pictures, or probably just giving interviews. और interviews का कुछ base होना चाहिए, कुछ content होना चाहिए जो लोगों तक पहुँचे, कुछ उनको inspire करे.
Right.
There are platforms that I have to support. For example, I used to, during my Mrs. India journey, I used to go to these schools, and I still am going to these schools where self-defense workshops conduct करते हैं. So that is something that we should work on. Then we have our Mrs. World का जो platform है, which is beauty for good, जहाँ पर वो drug addiction और drug abuse के बारे में लोगों को जागरूक करते हैं. तो all of that is very important. I cannot just say that winning a beauty pageant is all about glam.
It's
not.
not.
It is not. There is a lot of responsibility.
Maybe a couple of years back, or maybe a couple of decades back, it might have been, but I think it has grown a lot.
It has become, I feel that it has become actually the embodiment of beauty with brains.
Brains. That is very important. This is also a very big misconception, I would feel, in the minds of so many people out there, that pageantry is just about, the way you look, the way you dress, the way you're photographed. But there is so much more to it.
Yeah.
I guess you also, as you said, that you had a personal interview and there are question and answer sessions in every round almost. So this entire thing of giving answers on the moment, having like split second decision making,
it requires
takes a lot.
It requires a lot of communication skills, the leadership skills, and presence of mind is very important.
Presence of mind, right. यहाँ पर फ्रेंड से आर्ग्यूमेंट हो जाए तो कमबैक नहीं आता.
Exactly. घर जाके सोचते हैं यार ये बात ये बोल दिया होता.
Exactly. और वहाँ पर भाई साहब मतलब यहाँ तो you're sitting with your friend and you cannot fight back on a stupid comment, and let alone standing on the stage in
talking
front
about
of so many people,
social issues and current affairs, and kind of making people aware. So I was talking the other day to someone, and I told them this thing, that I got asked the same question actually, ke, how does pageantry empower women? The name itself says beauty pageant. So how does a beauty pageant empower? And my question to those people is, why is it so difficult to grab it कि ब्यूटी मतलब कंपार्टमेंटलाइज क्यों करके रखा है कि ब्यूटी और ब्रेन कुछ अलग अलग चीजें हैं.
exactly.
दोनों चीजें सेम
इंसान में हो सकती हैं,
क्यों नहीं
बिल्कुल हो सकती
हैं. A man can be handsome and intelligent, right? But
apparently the people cannot see that same.
But I also feel कि men के साथ भी ऐसा होता है. A very handsome man would be treated like कि इसका इतना दिमाग नहीं है शायद.
Exactly. वो मतलब उसको इतनी importance उस वे में नहीं दी जाएगी.
And he'll यार तू मॉडल बन जाना, क्या CEO बनने का सोच रहा है.
I think ये compartmentalization ना बहुत basic problem है जो हर किसी के केस में होती है. You see a good looking man, you think maybe the first point is you just keep on focusing on their looks. You see a good looking woman, same thing. वो चीज
यहाँ से यहाँ तक पहुँचता ही नहीं है नजर.
Exactly. Wow, that's a greater, deeper understanding to a lot of issues that I would say that we are facing as not only as women, as humankind in general.
And also I feel कि जहाँ तक pageantry की बात कर रहे हैं तो people find it very difficult to see a woman in roles apart from the traditional mother, wife, daughter-in-law. उससे अलग देख ही नहीं सकते कुछ करते हुए.
आज भी till date, that is a very major problem.
And not just in India, I think everywhere. We want to see women in those traditional roles, Even men, we want to see them in a traditional role of a breadwinner.
Right,
अगर एक house
right.
husband आप देख लो, like a stay at
Ian
home
का,
dad अगर आप
right,
देख
in
लो,
which,
तो उस बेचारे की तो life खराब हो जाएगी, you know, कितने comments.
comments, taunts, what not. मतलब क्यों नहीं हो सकता यार? He is an individual. He has his own choices. He wants to stay at home.
Take care
Let
of kids.
him be.
Please be my guest.
Exactly. I mean, I don't think there is any woman out there who would be happy having, as long as they have, of course, a good financial
Yeah.
stage, who wouldn't be happy having her husband in the house 24/7 looking after the kids while she goes out
And
to
cooking
work.
amazing food.
Yes, guys, सुन लो, ठीक है, अच्छा खाना बनाओ.
और फिर हम तुम्हें कभी काम नहीं
कभी
करने
काम
देंगे
करने को
life
नहीं
में.
कहेंगे. सीरियसली घर में बैठो मजे से, कोई टेंशन
Chill
नहीं है. हम
करो.
काम करेंगे जाके, बट बस खाना बना लो अच्छा.
नहीं,
Talking
maid भी
about-
रख सकते हैं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है.
हाँ.
We'll manage that.
Right.
Just stay at home, you know,
Stay
sit
at
with
home.
us.
Exactly. Give us attention. Give us time. That's all that
Oh
we
yeah,
want.
we want a lot of attention.
Talking about food, I am sure that this entire journey, you would have had a lot of dietary restrictions. Was that a case or manageable?
Not really. So I'm like genetically very lean.
Okay.
मैं जब मेरी शादी
Okay.
okay.
हाँ,
मेरी
it's
जब
okay,
शादी
chill,
हुई थी मैं I remember I was 26 years old and I was just 42 kilos.
What?
Like I was so frail कि मेरा लहंगा जो था, the tailor was like, ma'am, ये तो कुछ रहा ही नहीं बाजू. हमने तो सब स्टिच करवा दिया.
Oh God.
And I said, yeah, okay, this is me, I'm sorry. But then, yeah, I've been very, very lean all my life. And so I used to eat a lot, but कुछ नहीं लगता था इस शरीर को.
मैं उठ के जा रही हूँ इस इंटरव्यू से बिल्कुल. यहाँ पे सांस ले लो लग जाता है.
But finally हुआ ऐसा, you know. So I got married, I left Jammu, I came to Visakhapatnam, maybe the air and the hormones, you know, when you grow up.
It changes. Your
It
body
changes.
changes.
Body changes.
Right, absolutely.
Every single year, I guess. And you know, I gained weight in a year. I was like 10 kilos up.
Okay.
And
no,
I
that's
was
a
really happy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
much better, and I would say that's also healthy.
Healthy, yeah.
Exactly.
And I was eating everything. But during pageant, of course, मैं workout भी कर रही थी. मैं अपने training sessions attend कर रही थी. And also, you know, एक mental stress रहता है आपके ऊपर कि जो
You need
Mrs.
to
India के
maintain
time नहीं था.
yourself.
So if you see my winning pictures from Mrs. India and Mrs. World, you'll see a stark difference in my face because मेरा face काफी पतला हो गया है Mrs. World तक.
अच्छा,
I've lost like 5 kilos
Okay, between both things.
both
Oh
the
God.
pageants, and it
Okay.
was because of a lot of stress that I personally took. There was no stress to say.
कहने की बात होती है यार.
No,
मतलब
but
लोग
like my
छोटे
team at
exams में
Mrs.
people get stressed.
I
This
know,
is
right?
this world we are talking about.
My team at Mrs. India ANSI were really supportive. Everything was taken care of. But the only thing I feel is that big responsibility जब कोई आती है ना आपके shoulders पे, आप हमेशा सोचते हो कि यार क्योंकि मेरे कंधों पे, मेरे इन कमजोर कंधों पर इस पूरे देश का भार है, तो
Right.
like I have to be the best. And वो best बनने के चक्कर में I'm a Virgo, I'm like वो perfectionist वाला आ जाता है कभी
आ जाता है,
I
actually.
do a work, either I do it to win it or I don't do it at all.
Right, right.
So yeah.
And hence. So all this while when you were in Las Vegas and you were in the pageantry process, what were you missing the most food-wise from India?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Because ये एक बहुत common misconception है कि you know pageants में आपको बड़ा healthy खाना खाना पड़ता है. हमारे सामने buffet लगा होता था. Best food from across the world. Like we had Lebanese cuisine, we had one night we had an Indian dinner, and हर दिन कुछ नया खाने को मिलता था. And I would like टाइम नहीं है, ये भी खाना है वो भी खाना है, तो हम बैग में भर के लेके जाते थे सब कुछ अपनी ट्रेनिंग के दौरान जो हमारे रैंप वॉक सेशंस चल रहे थे, रिहर्सल्स, और वहाँ बैठ के खाते रहते थे. बट या आई यूज्ड टू ईट एवरीथिंग. आई यूज्ड टू मिस दाल चावल दो, लाइक बेसिक मैगी बहुत मिस किया मैंने वहाँ पर. वहाँ बहुत अच्छा खाना मिलता था, बट या मैगी एंड दाल
nothing
चावल.
can compete Maggie.
ना.
I agree, absolutely. अच्छा, so ये बताओ, you are a part of so many, you know, women coming together as a part of something so huge, women from across the world. So how was that environment? Like, was it competitive? Was it supportive? Was it empowering for each other? Like you are with 10 other women from 10 different countries. So were they supportive towards you? Or was it thoda competition tha? How was that?
I'd say I've never experienced this kind of sisterhood in my life before.
Wow.
I've studied in a girls' school all my life, like all the 12 years. Then I studied in a girls' college, like a women's college. Then I went to do my masters in English literature, which was 98% girls ही थी उसमें.
Okay.
Literature लड़के करना पसंद नहीं
Right.
करते. So all my life I've been with girls, and with girls, that's the difference between I feel girls and women.
Women.
That girls ना हो जाती हैं बीच में वो थोड़ा
Right.
सा I don't want to say the word, but yeah,
Yeah. We get it. We
they
get
kind of get that B feeling from sometimes
Right,
from
right.
some girls. But when you become like a woman, when you're married and
You mature
you
enough.
don't really have to be married to become like a woman. You need to be mature. You
Mature.
you need to be more accepting and forgiving.
Right.
And then when that happens, तो पूरे pageant में मुझे ऐसी ही so there were like 57 countries participating, and women coming from, they were entrepreneurs, they were coming from political backgrounds. Some of them were doctors and engineers and PhD scholars.
My God.
And everybody coming in and helping each other. You know, कभी किसी का dress खराब हो गया तो sew करके दे दिया. I remember second runner-up Solange, Mrs. Canada. Solange kind of उसने FedEx करवाया कम से कम I think 7-8 pairs of shoes for
Wow.
women in the competition. And she just went to the office, brought all those boxes and kept them on the table and said, you know, जिसका जिसका है वो ले लो. It's so sweet that she didn't really have to do it,
Yeah.
but she did that for them because everybody was asking for those shoes. So that's really nice. And you keep hearing these stories के you know dress खराब कर देते थे और makeup चुरा लेंगे. ये सब मैंने सुना है like.
Even I think we've also seen films like Miss Congeniality. I'm not sure if you watched
Exactly,
it.
I have.
So and we see that you know there are conspiracies going
Happening,
on
right.
and things are.
टाइम ही नहीं होता इतना निहारिका बिल्कुल टाइम नहीं था हमारे पास सोने का टाइम नहीं होता था खाने का टाइम नहीं होता था let alone conspiracies
Right, एक दूसरे के आगे.
all of that वो सब नहीं कर पाते थे हम even though we might, some of us might want to, but then nahi, I felt a very good vibe all 6 days. Enjoyed
That's
it.
really nice.
My roommate, Mrs. Singapore, she was so cute, Cindy. She just texted me in the morning saying, "Love, when are you coming to Singapore?" I said, "Okay, let's think about it." But yeah, we are still in touch. We have a group and we still chat, wish each other on birthdays.
That's really nice.
I had a TED talk a few days ago, yes, and they all congratulated me for that.
Wow,
so
that's
it's
amazing.
a good feeling to have competition among women who understand what it is.
And healthy competition. You know you are
That's empowering,
against each
actually.
other in this, but still to not let that affect the kind of
And
bond
to
you are
know
building.
and to know that you know the one who's winning is going to do good, and to believe in that woman, it takes a lot.
It takes a lot. When you know that you are in the same running, especially I think in that, keeping that in mind, it takes a lot to actually support womanhood in general rather than you know having your own कि मैं जीत जाऊँ तो better रहेगा. Of course वो होता होगा. Goes without saying. That's a personal wish that everyone must have had, and they've all worked hard to reach that stage.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm sure that it takes a lot.
It does.
So tell me this, most of these pageants when they end and women come out victorious, uska next step for almost all of them has been Bollywood and movies. So what is your next step? Is it that or is it something else?
I wouldn't say no to it. Because I'd say कि मैंने modeling जब start ही करी थी तो obviously वो जो 2 साल बैठी थी तो यही सोचा था कि if I'm entering modeling तो obviously there'll be endorsements, there'll be some, you know, if I do good तो probably some TV commercials or maybe something on television for that matter. And I wasn't hesitant ever to do that. But right now, after winning, of course, you know, that goes without saying that people in pageantry do follow
Sort of
that
have
path,
that idea in their heads.
which is okay because
It is. I mean, so many people we've seen, Sushmita Sen, as you said,
Exactly.
Lara Datta, they
Yeah.
all took that same
took that
road.
step.
Exactly.
But if it works for me, fine. If it doesn't, I always feel that आपके पास हमेशा एक plan B होना चाहिए. My plan B, so I have kind of 2 plan Bs. One is obviously teaching, which I thoroughly
falling
enjoy.
back to your
Yeah.
own. Right.
And then I also feel that this whole year, I have felt that I can actually, inspire a lot of people.
You
So to say,
can, yes,
I have a
absolutely.
platform now. I have a platform, and I have that popularity that people can connect with me, and they might get inspired to do something in their life, and I can maybe help them, give them a platform to do that.
Right.
So for that, I feel I'm open to do that. But apart from that, अगर acting का भी है तो yeah, if you have any work for me, so please, I'm available.
I'm sure it will come your way. I'm sure. And honestly, पता है, I strongly believe in the universe. I'm not sure if people around me do or not. And I strongly believe in the fact that जो होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है. So whatever comes your way, I'm sure that it's meant for you, and it'll take you where you have to be.
Yeah, this year has been 2022 has been all about never saying no. I used to do that a lot. I was a procrastinator. But then this year, actually, 2022 actually taught me to grab every opportunity that comes your way.
Exactly.
It can be a big one, a small one, but don't worry about how far it will take you. Just think that at least it will take you a step ahead from where you are right now.
Right, exactly. So you said that you want to inspire people around you. I'm sure that there are a lot of girls out there who want to get into the entire pageantry system, and they are not aware of what step should they take that they can be there. So can you tell us, like, for little young girls who want to get into this, what is the way to sort of move ahead, and how can they start their pageantry journey?
So I think the girls today are really smart. I was a part of this academy, Coco Berry, and they were the ones who trained me throughout my Mrs. World journey.
Right.
And there are a lot of girls who come there, train, and they're 19 and 18-year-old girls, and 3 months का course करेंगी, जो भी रहता है, 21 days or whatever, अलग-अलग courses, and they do that. So find yourself a good pageant academy, because pageantry, everyone these days comes prepared. जैसे पहले वो एक आकाश इंस्टीट्यूट और ये सब रहते थे ना,
right,
all these things. तो वैसे अभी है, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं सामने
that people can actually go to and prepare themselves.
And because pageantry has become a very competitive thing now.
Right.
And everybody is coming prepared. So it's good to have that training so that you know what you're going for.
Right.
And so I think that's the first step. And then, of course, it's okay however you look. It doesn't matter. These days, actually, it doesn't matter. I've seen it with my own eyes. It does not matter how tall you are, how short you are, how big or small you are. At the end of the day, people want to see you.
Right.
They want to see the
real you.
और वो यहाँ से चाहे ना दिखे, मेकअप छुपा लेता है वो सब चीजें, बट मेकअप दिल को नहीं छुपा सकता, दिमाग को नहीं छुपा सकता.
Absolutely.
And that's what they want to see, everyone out there. And yeah, so don't lose that in that journey, because अब बहुत young आते हो, जैसे मैंने कहा ना, मिलिट्री एकेडमी में बहुत young लड़के आते हैं, और जब वो उस लेवल तक पहुंचते हैं, एकेडमी से बाहर निकल के,
different people top to bottom.
And most of them become very rigid, very focused होना गलत नहीं है, but they just become those एक ही टाइप से सोचेंगे, right?
एक ही direction, उनको वही direction
exactly, a very unidirectional thinking they have. But then there are some who have fun, who are themselves, who are still themselves, and that's what I want people to
focus
understand.
more on. Stay, of course, you
yourself.
have goals, you need to focus on that, but stay yourself.
At the end of the day, this charade is going to come off.
Right, exactly. It's not a permanent thing.
Exactly. And then you'll have to be the same. And please stop doing the same pageant patty answers that I'm going to change the world. I'm going to bring compassion, and the world is going to be a better place just because of me. It cannot happen in a day.
Right.
Work towards that. Work towards that.
Do that. Show actions speak louder than words.
Exactly. And then if I feel if you can change even a single life, that makes a lot of difference.
Exactly. So, any challenges that you faced during the process, or some of the biggest challenges that you faced during the process?
Oh my God. ये क्वेश्चन का आंसर मैं कभी नहीं दे पाती हूँ. लोगों को लगता है कि कितनी स्ट्रगल्स होंगी इसकी लाइफ में. ऑनेस्टली मेरी लाइफ में नहीं रही हैं स्ट्रगल्स. मेरी फैमिली बहुत सपोर्टिव थी. मेरे पेरेंट्स ने कभी मुझे किसी चीज़ के लिए रोका नहीं. I was born in a very protected environment. Husband ऐसा मिला जो इतना progressive है. Friends मिले जिनके ऊपर मैं अपनी जान छिड़क सकती हूँ, and they are always there to cheer me up. And मेरे relatives, they never poke their nose in my opinion.
Wow.
So I'm privileged that way. So नहीं रही है वैसी struggles, but challenges मेरे life में इस terms में रहे हैं, जैसे I've seen people talk a lot of bad things when you're married and you want to enter modeling after like 5 years of marriage. People have something to say.
Yeah,
you know?
people anyway have something to say always, and put in a woman in the situation and put in a married woman in the situation. My God, you have the
a married
recipe
woman
for gossip.
Yeah, a married woman 5 साल से शादी है, बच्चा नहीं है, और वो तो एक next level का gossip मिल जाता है उनको करने
My
को.
God.
So that's something I've struggled with a lot. There have been people who've just shamed me left, right, and center. You're married. How can you wear such clothes and dance on
Why
social
not?
media, making reels and everything? How are you doing it? Why are you doing it? There have been people who've said, you do this to
Attract attention.
attract men's attention. Even though you have a husband at home, you're doing this, and it sounds so stupid, but then
But it affects you.
it affects you a
affects
lot.
you. Affects you.
Then people have said, you're married to a Navy officer, तुमको तो क्या ही करना है life में. तो हाँ ठीक है, beauty pageant तो is something that of course you can do. You have all the time in the you have all the time in the world, so you'll do it. तुम्हारे पति के पास तो दुनिया भर का पैसा है. They don't understand we are government. At the end of the day, he's a government servant, right?
Right.
He's working for the government. We don't have दुनिया भर का पैसा.
Right.
It's just people have seen that life from the outside. They don't know what goes
Behind it, actually.
Yeah, I do
exactly.
all those things that a normal woman does, and sometimes even more. And I don't want to take that away from anyone, but yeah, those were my struggles. Those were my challenges, to actually stand up to these people and tell them that I don't care what you say.
Right.
I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for myself. My husband's happy. My family is happy. If they don't mind me wearing,
Then who are you to say anything?
Exactly. If my father is telling me कि जाओ तुम बिकिनी पहनो,
Exactly,
तो मुझको
तो और
और किसको certificate देना है इस चीज का,
जरूरत ही नहीं है. It's just you and your close ones.
Yeah.
I don't think beyond that anyone
Exactly. I
else's
think सबसे
opinions
बड़ी
matter.
struggle होती है अपनी family का support पाना.
That
बहुत
you
लोग ऐसे
already
हैं जो
had.
unlucky. Exactly. बहुत ऐसे लोग हैं जिनको I won't say unlucky, but yes,
They don't
it's a
have
big
that
struggle
support.
to
It is.
Ask your parents कि मान जाओ बाबा, मान जाओ. तो वो
It
मुझे
takes
कभी
a
नहीं करना
toll on
पड़ा.
you. It
takes
really
toll on
does.
you, yes.
And you had that, and honestly, that's all that you need. Beyond, वही ना, लोगों का काम है कहना, कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे. So you have to
yes.
really. I know it's tough, but that's the idea behind it. That you have to keep it aside and do whatever you want.
Exactly. I tell this line to a lot of people कि दुनिया क्या सोचेगी. It's a very simple. I think heard a lot.
Right.
दुनिया क्या सोचेगी, ये भी हम ही सोचेंगे तो दुनिया क्या सोचेगी.
दुनिया क्या सोचेगी? Exactly.
Just,
what a wonderful
forget it.
thing to sort of end the conversation on, because सोचने दो यार, chill मारो अपनी life में, जो खुद
chill,
करना है करो. You have
exactly.
one life after all.
That's what I truly believe. Yeah, एक life है. वो
YOLO.
भी पता नहीं है because life expectancy बहुत कम हो गई है.
हाँ, exactly. वो भी पता नहीं कितने साल चलेगी.
कितने साल चलेगी. तो जितना है ये गाड़ी खींच लो अच्छे से.
Exactly. Pandemics हो रहे हैं, पता नहीं क्या क्या हो रहा है पूरी दुनिया में. So till the moment that you have that time, do whatever the hell you want to.
And then of course one day you're all going to retire.
Exactly.
We'll all be old and हड्डियां काम नहीं करेंगी, शरीर काम नहीं करेगा.
Exactly.
क्या कर लोगे?
तब regret होगा
कि ये नहीं
किया नहीं. Exactly. So rather than regretting what you didn't do later in life, might as well do it right now.
Exactly.
It was such a nice conversation, Sargam, that I
Thank
have with
you.
you.
I had
Really,
so much
really
fun.
enjoyed. That was the idea. I'm so glad that you had fun, and it was such a nice conversation. It was such a huge pleasure having you here on Ladies
Same
First.
here. I had so much fun. I really hope this conversation reaches a lot of people. Not just what I said, but even what you said. There were a lot of things that kind of will strike a chord with a lot of people, and
Right.
I hope it does.
Absolutely.
And I hope your segment really brings about that change. And I said ना, एक life भी change हो जाए तो
बहुत
that's
है,
a
बहुत है.
battle
Fingers
won.
crossed that कुछ help हो सके. Thank you so much for
thank
joining
you,
me
thank
today,
you.
Sargam. It was such a pleasure having you
Same
here.
here. Thank you so much.
Keep listening to ABP Live Podcasts.